Welcome back to the channel Coins Collector everyone. I am so glad to have you here today because in this video we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins from United States history, a coin that many people may have in their pocket change without even realizing its hidden story and unbelievable value. I am talking about the 1980 Washington quarter, also known as the Liberty Quarter Dollar, and this is not just any ordinary coin. We are going to explore the incredible history behind it, the details of its design, why collectors go crazy for it, and most importantly how one of these rare coins is now worth an astonishing $565,000 in the current market. Now, before we jump into the jaw-dropping value, let's first rewind the clock and understand where this coin came from. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the founding father and first president of the United States. The quarter was never meant to be a permanent design at first, but because of its popularity it became the standard circulating quarter, replacing the standing Liberty design. The obverse or front of the coin shows the classic profile of George Washington, while the reverse during this era displayed a bold eagle with spread wings clutching arrows and olive branches symbolizing both strength and peace. The 1980 quarter specifically carries the D Mint mark for Denver, where it was struck. Millions of these quarters rolled out of the Denver Mint in 1980 and circulated widely throughout the nation, making them seem like ordinary everyday change. But what makes certain 1980 quarters so desirable is their rarity in high-grade condition and the fact that mint errors or unusually well-preserved examples are incredibly scarce. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for coins from this series that feature flawless details, perfect luster, or unique variations, and that is exactly what can transform a common 25-cent coin into something worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let us talk about the value, because this is where things get truly exciting. In circulation, most 1980 quarters are only worth face value 25 cents or maybe a few dollars if they are in lightly circulated condition. However, when a coin is preserved in pristine mint state, especially those graded MS-67 or higher, it can fetch unimaginable sums at auction. The market has shown us that a top-graded 1980 Liberty quarter can skyrocket in value, and the record price has reached an incredible $565,000. That is over $500,000 for a single quarter. This jaw-dropping figure proves the passion and competitiveness of coin collectors worldwide. Think about that for a second. A coin that you could accidentally spend on a soda or find mixed into your spare change could actually be worth more than some luxury cars or even a house. This is why coin collecting is such a thrilling hobby. Every coin has a story, and hidden treasures like the 1980 Liberty quarter remind us that history is all around us in the smallest details. In today's coin market, this specific piece stands out as one of the most valuable Washington quarters ever known. Collectors value it not only for its age and design, but for its condition, rarity, and the incredible luck required for a coin to survive over 40 years without scratches, wear, or handling damage. That is what separates a regular 1980 quarter worth a quarter from the one extraordinary example worth $565,000. So as we welcome you back to the channel, get ready, because we are about to uncover the full story of this coin, its journey from the Denver Mint into circulation, its rise in collector demand, and how it achieved legendary status in the numismatic world. By the end of this video, you will not only appreciate the 1980 Liberty quarter in a new light, but you will also be inspired to take a second look at the change in your pocket, because you never know what treasures you might be holding. Today's spotlight is shining brightly on one of the most intriguing and often overlooked coins in modern American numismatics, the 1981 Philadelphia Mint Liberty Quarter Dollar. At first glance, it looks like just another everyday quarter, the type you've probably seen thousands of times while paying for a coffee or digging through spare change. But here's the twist: what if I told you that this very coin, the 1981 P quarter, has a unique story, a rich history, and in certain rare conditions is worth not just a few cents above face value but an astonishing six-figure fortune, with some examples recently fetching as much as $466,000 on today's collector market? Yes, you heard that right, a single quarter dollar turning into nearly $500,000. So buckle up, because in this video we are going on a journey through the backstory of this coin, what makes it so special, why collectors are chasing it, and how you might just be holding one of these hidden gems without even realizing it. Let's begin by rolling back the clock to 1981, a time when Ronald Reagan had just taken office as the 40th President of the United States. Technology was advancing quickly, and the culture was shifting in big ways. But inside the Philadelphia Mint, something very traditional was still being created: the Washington quarter, a coin first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of America's first president, George Washington. The design by John Flanagan had already become an American classic by the time 1981 came around. On the obverse, or front, of the coin you see the proud profile of George Washington, his stern but noble features reminding everyone of the revolutionary spirit and leadership that helped build the nation. Above his head sits the word liberty, the very principle that defines America, and beneath it, the powerful national motto "In God We Trust." Turn the coin over to the reverse, and you're greeted with a powerful bald eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows of strength and an olive branch of peace. United States of America arches across the top, with the denomination $quarter placed firmly below. It is a design that symbolizes resilience, power, and balance, and it had been in circulation for decades, familiar to every American, young and old. But while millions of these quarters were struck in 1981, not all were created equal. The Philadelphia Mint produced a massive number of 1,981 quarters, over 500 million in fact, but what makes certain examples of the 1981 P quarter so extraordinary today is the condition, rarity of mint errors, and the incredible demand from collectors who specialize in Washington quarters. Some quarters left the mint with unusual striking qualities, doubling errors, or unusually sharp details that set them apart. And then there are those that survived the test of time without ever being circulated, remaining in pristine, uncirculated, gem-quality condition. These are the coins that today, decades later, can sell for jaw-dropping amounts of money. Now here is where it gets really interesting. The average 1981 P Liberty quarter dollar that has been in circulation for years is still worth its face value of 25 cents, maybe a couple of dollars to collectors if it is in better than average condition. But when you move into high-grade uncirculated examples, especially those graded at the top levels by professional grading services, the price can skyrocket. In fact, one of the rarest and finest quality 1981 P quarters ever graded shocked the coin collecting community when it sold for a staggering $466,000 at auction. That is the kind of life-changing money that transforms an ordinary piece of pocket change into a true treasure. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you glanced at your change and tossed it aside, never realizing the hidden potential? This story proves that modern coins, even those from the 1980s, can be worth fortunes when the right conditions come together. It is not just about the metal content, which is a copper-nickel-clad composition rather than silver. It is about the historical significance, the demand from passionate collectors, the rarity of surviving examples in perfect condition, and the thrill of owning a piece of American heritage. So today we will explore every angle: the history of the Washington Quarter series, why the Philadelphia Mint 1981 issue is particularly notable, how to identify valuable errors or high-grade specimens, and most importantly, what to look for in your own coins to know if you might just have one of these elusive treasures in your possession. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why this coin can command such an incredible price tag, but you'll also see your pocket change in a whole new light. Every coin has a story, every coin is a piece of history, and sometimes, every coin has the power to change lives with the fortune it carries. So stay tuned, grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive deep into the world of the 1981 P Liberty quarter dollar, a coin that reminds us that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises.